Hey there, this is Dr. Whiting again, and welcome to part 4 in a series of frequently asked questions about systemic yeast overgrowth and our OxyFlush program. Today we want to begin with a question from Colorado. It says, what about doing a colon cleanse at the same time we do your OxyFlush? Here's my viewpoint. Too much of a good thing at once is not always a good idea. It is possible to do too much detox too fast and merely end up being miserable in the process. For that reason, I would suggest you either do the colon cleanse first or preferably do it after the OxyFlush. This way your body does not detoxify at many different levels at once, and when you do the colon cleanse at the end, it helps to eliminate any residual toxins that might be left there from the flush or from the detoxification at the cellular level. So we, generally speaking, don't recommend doing too much good too often and at once. Okay, will this program help me lose weight? One of the 10 major reasons why people cannot lose weight is because their metabolism is being altered and their immune system and their adrenals are being compromised by long-term yeast overgrowth. We have found that in about 10 to 15% of the clients that we work with, when we use the OxyFlush and when we get the yeast overgrowth under control, they automatically, without any other changes, begin to lose weight. 8 pounds, 10 pounds, up to 20 pounds. Now, this is not the case for everyone. This is not a weight loss program. But by eliminating these pathogens and this yeast overgrowth, you start to set the body's equilibrium and hence its metabolism back on track. Remember, a sick, toxic body cannot function very well. And so once we clear that up, your metabolism can return to a greater state of energy and cause an automatic weight loss in many cases. Not a bad benefit. Okay. Can I take probiotics during the flush program? Absolutely. Those of you who have read our protocol know that we reimplant probiotics at the end of the detox for 10 days. But many of our clients choose to use probiotics at the same time while they're detoxing, while they're flushing, and that's perfectly fine. All you have to remember is that the probiotic, like everything else you're taking, including food, has to be taken separately from the Oxy. The Oxy formula must be taken on an empty stomach, alone, 30 minutes before eating or drinking anything else. But if you want to take probiotics, it oftentimes helps people to feel a whole lot better, especially those who score very, very high on our test. And speaking of that test, you can go to candidaclinic.org and you can take that test for yourself. And that way we'll both find out where we're starting with you from and what benefits we might expect to see in the way of improvements as we go along. If you should have any questions about Candida or about any of the subject matter of these videos, please feel free to call my research center at 1-888-454-8464. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. And you can do that quite simply by going to phoenixnutritionals.com and clicking on the Facebook and Twitter icons right on the home page and signing up. So you can like us and you can friend us and you can do all of those wonderful things. And that will give you daily health tips, specials that Phoenix Nutritionals may be running on our formulas, the latest news about health and wellness and so forth. So it's a great way to stay in touch with our research center on a weekly basis. All right, let's take another question. How does the product taste? Yeah, I suppose that's important. Because we've buffered the oxygen, we have slowed down the reaction time or the release time of the oxygen from 30 seconds to 30 minutes. The product is 100 times more stable. This means because of its stability, we can add such things as aloe vera, Tahitian noni, and sterilized fruit flavorings. So the product is virtually tasteless. It tastes like a wild berry sort of drink. It's very pleasant. You will virtually not taste the oxygen in the product whatsoever. Okay, why do you not recommend using pure food-grade hydrogen peroxide and mix it with water? Well, we just talked about one of the reasons, taste. When you mix more than 10 drops of food-grade hydrogen peroxide in water, the taste is absolutely abominable. We worked with people many years ago before we developed our Oxy Aloe product in its buffered form. And while the benefit was there, people could hardly stand the taste. They couldn't keep up with the program longer than a few days. Secondly, another concern would be mixing it incorrectly. In its pure form, it is highly caustic, highly reactive, and its ability to irritate and even burn your esophagus, your stomach lining, and so forth is very, very high. For that reason, we do not recommend the use of pure food-grade hydrogen peroxide for internal use. However, our buffered Oxy Aloe product is completely safe, completely stable, and it has been used successfully without side effects for 26 years. At this point in time, I would like to thank you for listening in, and we will continue our series of questions with our final chapter coming up next. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can reach us either by phone at 888-454-8464, or you can email me direct at askthedoc, ASKTHEDOC, at healthyinformation.com. In the final chapter of our Q&A series, Part 5, we'll be talking about why physicians have such a difficult time getting their head around this yeast problem. We'll be talking about long-term use of our oxygen product, and we'll be talking about other supplements that might help your body heal faster by providing other support besides oxygenation. This is Dr. Whiting. I'd like to thank you for listening and see you in Part 5.